Well, hey Keith, I thought I'd send you a little bit of a thank you video on how to some advice for welding these angle plates. They're a roughly 6x6 angle plate. There's 5/8 material on those. I originally thought it was only 1/2 inch, but it worked out to my favor. It was 5/8. It's entirely 4140 annealed. So it machined real nicely. Welding wise, went perfect. I can show you here. I did like you said, and I overlapped about 1/8 of an inch these plates. Now the only thing that I did, and it was my fault because I didn't think ahead on this one naturally, I didn't build this up enough so that you could, I could actually machine it to a nice square corner. So, unfortunately, it'll be there. I'm not going to go through the process again to straighten that out, but basically all I did was I cut everything on the bandsaw. Then I milled these gussets here so they were square. And then I tacked everything. And then once they were all tacked, I put them in our heat treat oven at I think it was 600 degrees. I preheated them too. And then I went through and I first welded this here. I got that in. I think that was 4 or 5 passes to get that to that point. Now I know my welds look absolutely nothing like yours, but for the first time doing actual heavy duty welding, I would call it, I honestly don't think that's too bad. I'm guaranteeing that it will hold together. When I squared up these edges to these faces, and even when I did these faces, I did some fairly heavy cutting just to test them and see how good they were, and they came out, they were solid. There was no surprises, nothing abnormal that I could find, so that turned out good. Then I just flipped it around, and I haven't cleaned this up yet. There's not much of a need to, but and then I just welded these, and then I welded up through there. The video doesn't show it too well. It's not that bad looking, but not great. But again, when you look at the edge, you kind of get an idea of what the penetration was, and I think it was plenty solid. So more or less, I think now I know how to do these. As far as after they were all welded, I had the oven set to 1100 degrees, and I went through and put them in there for, I think it was about a half hour, 45 minutes. And I left them to cool overnight with the furnace off. And they went, the next day, early in the morning at work, they were still pretty warm. Around noon, I took and cracked the door open, let them cool down a little quicker. And I took them out about 4:30 that night. And they were about 100, I'd guess about 150 degrees still, but they were, that was probably the ultimate in slow cool down in my mind. So, I found no cracking, no weld defects, no nothing like that. So it turned out pretty good. So these aren't ground, they were just milled with a 10-inch cutter in our shell mill, in our Supermax horizontal mill, and they turned out great. Squareness wise, I think they were about 2/1000 at the most over that length, for as best as I could check. But they're plenty usable. So anyway, if you took the time to check this video out, thanks a lot. I appreciate the help for some advice for getting these welded together, and they turned out great. So thanks a lot.